Welcome to the 251st episode of the Terrell Effect live on Restream.io. We have two guests here today. We have Malin and Mike from Bad Breed. Oh man,
Hello.
did that hurt? Did the
Yes.
palms? Oh my gosh.
A lot.
Oh wow.
Way more than man. Yes, it hurt very badly. When I went to get my palm done the first time, I had never read anything about how many nerve endings there were in your palm. Like, I mean, I have lots of other tattoos and blah, 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 blah. But as soon as that needle touched me, like, it felt like a blowtorch. I mean, I've never been tortured before, but it was close, So yes, the answer is yes.
Well, that's a culture shock right there.
Yeah.
Definitely. I had to segue. Y'all got to check out issue 12 of Culture Shock because I believe you guys are in there.
We are in there. Yes, Maylin did an interview, filled out some interview questions for you guys. Yes, so we're definitely in that issue. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I love the layout of that, by the way. It looks great.
Thank you very much. It was experimenting with every month is an experiment, really, in a sense that I want to see what will catch the eye and what will stick out and stand with the reader. And I've gotten more compliments than criticisms. So I think yeah. So I think I'm doing something
that
right.
Sounds like exactly what you want, right? Like, I mean, if it has to be on one side or the other, yeah, the compliments are what are ideal.
Definitely. So let's go back to the beginning because I always talk about marketable names and it's easy to spell and it's what's it called? Phonetically sound, but it's alliteration.
Alliteration, yeah.
Alliteration. I'm a big fan of alliteration.
Yeah.
Yep. So my question is, how did this band group duo start, and what made you choose that name, Bad Breed?
Well, I mean, the band started in 2014 as sort of a much more straight ahead, like rock or like punk rock type group. And it was like, four dudes, like four guys doing, rock music. And then it sort of, we took a break for a couple of years. And then when I started again, I just basically kept everything. I kept the name, you know what I mean? I liked the name. And then Maylin and I had been in a group together in the early 2000s, and we kind of reconnected in about 2017, Maylin, like the end of 2017, beginning 2018. And I love Maylin's bass playing. I love Maylin's voice, and I love Maylin. So it was just, sort of like, hey, would you like to make music with me? Yeah.
Let me interrupt. You play bass?
I do. I'm the bass player of Bad Breed.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So like, this is okay. And you'd think after starting a magazine called Culture Shock and running it for 12 months, I wouldn't land in the same situation, but I'm shocked again because I thought you were the voice. I didn't know that you
But I am the bass player. Every single bass player that you hear on the record, that's me.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Maylin's a great bass player. And and just a quick note, Maylin started playing bass in order to play with an earlier group back in 2002?
2002.
Yeah. So, and you had never played bass before.
Yeah.
Right. So you picked up the instrument in order to play with us. Or with me. So yeah, I love Maylin's playing.
That is stellar.
To answer your question, Bad Breed is the name I took from we talked a little before we went live here, and you are a wrestling fan.
Yes.
Do you remember ECW, the promotion?
Oh
ECW?
my gosh. Paul Heyman is still one of my favorite guys to this day.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm a Heyman guy.
He's one of the last kind of like real sounding people with, speaking to people on TV. There was a tag team in ECW called Bad Breed. And I just loved that name. And I thought, well, I mean, nobody else is using it for a band, so I will borrow that. And then the band that Maylin and I had prior was called Burning, and that's the name of a Japanese tag team from the 90s. So I would, yes. So I was taking names from pro wrestling because a lot of people in music don't really dip into that a whole lot, or at least they didn't. I know more now. There's a lot of rappers and stuff who like speak on pro wrestling and things. There's a lot of hip hop with that reference, but yeah, that's
pro wrestling. Yeah, I find it's more in like the metal rock scene.
Right.
Like it's more proficient. But yeah, there are like even Choclair, I remember, or no, Northern Touch. I can remember them. Yeah, I think it was Choclair talking about watching Raw at the Sky Dome and things like that. Yeah.
Monday Night Raw watching, whatever the line is. Yeah. Like
yes.
Monday Night Raw watching. Yes, I know that.
Yeah. So,
but there are those newer guys. I don't know if you know those guys, like the Griselda people, like Conway the Machine and all those guys. Their mixtapes are called like, whatever, Chris Benoit or what, they're referencing it constantly. However, when I chose the name, I just thought it was sneaky because I thought, well, nobody knows who these people, like that's an obscure thing from the 90s that nobody will remember,
Oh man, you'd be surprised.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
Oh man. So okay, now since we're on the topic of wrestling, I'm gonna I gotta ask you for a moment. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Which one is like which? All right.
I have to say I do not watch Raw and SmackDown because I'm a jerk. Like I'm older than you are. I'm a huge fan of stuff that from the past. So I'm still a big sort of I would watch. I've watched a lot of NXT. I've gone and seen it live. That's more my speed. Do you know what I mean? Less of the goofiness, I guess. But I mean, there's a place for everything there. But that for me, sure, NXT would be for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right now that seems to be the going brand, and they just changed it up a little bit. Vince got his hand on it, so we'll see how it goes. But
fingers crossed, man. I mean, because that seemed to be the thing that if you knew the guys who were sort of the independent guys coming up, and then they kind of got put onto a nicer production and bigger stage with NXT, it was great to see them do their thing there. But fingers crossed, right? Let's hope it stays great.
Yeah, definitely. Did you ever watch wrestling at all at any point in your life, Maylin?
No. I'm learning from you guys. I'm listening very carefully because I am from Cuba,
Okay.
Yes, that's my country. That's where I was born. And in Cuba, we do not watch any of these kind of shows because we're communists. So communism bans all these kind of shows.
Really?
Yeah, our TV is very socially oriented, and only what the government allows us to watch. That's what we can. And because all of these shows, they are related in communism mindset to North America, we are not allowed to watch them.
Wow. That is, I don't know how more power to you. That's all I can say, because I'm a very outspoken individual.
Yeah, I will say I believe Maylin's not saying that in a positive light. Is that correct, Maylin?
Yes, I'm not.
No, she's not. She's telling you how the reality of it, but yeah. There's a reason I think that Maylin's sitting in Toronto rather than. I mean, you wanted to move, correct?
Yeah, looking for freedom, and that's one of them. The freedom of watching whatever I want, whenever I want. You know what I mean? Not having a government just telling me this is what you have to watch. Yeah.
So what is the most significant change you've noticed from Cuba to Canada?
First and foremost, the freedom.
Okay.
That's the most significant. Second, the challenge, and it has to do with your name, the culture shock. Because coming from Cuba, a country that it has a very tropical climate, I would say people are all the time like in party mood, very happy, and music for us is part of our identity. So coming to Canada, that was a cultural shock for me when I see that music is not as big, and it doesn't as in Cuba. You know what I mean? It's completely different. Like you walk into the club, and most of the time when we do Cuban music, they say, "Oh my God, it's too loud, turn it down." So stuff like that. That for me was a big cultural shock.
Okay. Yeah, we don't like. Yeah, up here it's. Uh,
It's like music is something else, but
yeah, music
in
is
my
kind of.
culture, music is embedded
Yeah,
in
yeah,
our life. You know what I mean? That's for us is a big cultural shock. Like for example, musicians in Cuba, you could
yeah.
have music as your full-time job and you're very well appreciated. However, when you come to Canada, you need to have music and something else sometimes to survive. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That for me
Yeah,
was a big cultural shock as well.
yeah, yeah. That's basically the big thing right here. It's like a second society.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians are like within the society of musicians, we are held to a certain accord, but outside, like the lawyers and the psychologists who are still studying art, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to draw that parallel more often so they understand that these things are like psychology. I was shocked when I heard that psychology and law are both forms of art.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about art in general, they're discrediting some lawyers and some lawyers and some psychologists because they're not grouping them with us as uh, creators in general, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's something that it's very funny because so many people rely, and I'm gonna say on us as musicians or creators or entertainers, to get away from the the day-to-day thoughts and all of that stuff. But then when it comes around to showing the appreciation or the appreciate love, as Lizzie Judd would say, it doesn't happen as fluidly. It's like, oh, you're a musician, that's great. Handing out demos is no,
Yes.
handing out demos is no different than handing out resumes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
No,
mean?
but that sounds no, but that's right. I think you're right. Like I think it's like, oh, you play music. Oh, well, that's really nice. What else do you do? Like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's you know,
Yeah.
and as Maylin said, and as I'm sure you're aware, David, like I mean, you usually do have to do something else, and like unless until you can sort of hit a certain level or threshold or plateau, you're doing
yeah,
something else because, like Maylin said, I mean, I remember when you first came here and we started playing shows, and we would get the door and split up what we made at the door, and you were used to each musician gets this much for every show, and that's the way it is, in advance,
Yeah.
and that unfortunately, for if you're doing original music here, that's not how it is until you kind
Yes.
of
can we
get
talk
up
about
there.
that for a second, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second, please, because this is y'all hear us talking, but this is a music show. We're gonna get into the music just now. Share the link. We're talking to Bad Breed, Malin, and Mike. But why is it? Why do you find that playing someone else's music is respected more than playing your own?
I would say I would love to. I would love to give you my input because I am a musician that for a very long time I said I do not play cover songs because I am not going to use my lifetime to play someone else's music when I can create my own.
Yes.
That's my input on that. People keep respecting covers because that's what is popular. That's what made the hits, that what made the sales, that what made the records, and they want to keep on listening to that. However, I think it's our job, people who make original music, to stand up for our music. Like remember
Mm.
the day, Mike, that not too far ago, someone
Yeah.
hired us, but they thought we were a cover band, and
Yeah.
then they asked us, "Oh, but could you play cover song?" And we said, "No, we are not a
No.
cover band. You could
Yeah.
hire someone else for that." So I think it's us who want to stand up loud and clear and firm for what we do and say, no, we don't do cover music. But there's a lot of musicians that, because also you make more money
You
and you
do
get
make
more
more money.
gigs
Yeah.
and you get more gigs playing cover music. So a lot of musicians at the end of the day, they even the other day I was in a show. This is my friend. She just released her own album full of originals. However, at that show, she played only one song from her album, and all of the rest was covered. That's on her.
Yeah, but
That's on her.
but
Because if
as you
they
said,
hire you and you're there as an entertainer, I will play maybe 9 songs from my album and one cover.
Here's the
yeah.
thing, and I'll get to you, Mike. Hold on to that thought. And
Mm,
that's
mm,
one of the things that that people look down on me for, because I DJ, right? And when I DJ independent music. I have 70 plus gigabytes of independent music. Oh,
mm.
can you play this industry person? No, go to an industry party. Oh wait, you can't get into an industry party. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like I like to play the independent stuff because there's already a lane for the people who have made it, so to speak. We gotta pave the path for those who are trying to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
like I've always said, like if you come to something that I play, that I'm playing at, you're gonna hear independent music. You're gonna hear music that might not be the most popular, but has a good vibe, or you know what I mean, has a good message or something that you can learn from.
Mm.
Like it's just amazing how we'll abandon. It's like what I saw this thing that really clicked with me. Your favorite artist was once a local artist too.
Yes.
And that's 100. That is 100% correct. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yes. If your goal is to make $75 to $100 a night to do, yeah, covers are the way to go. Like 100%. But
Yeah.
I think one of the things that Maylin and I have in common is that that's just not our interest. Again, sure. I mean, if that's your thing, cool, man. Like, do it. But that's not my interest. My interest is doing what we do, like, kind of creating our own thing and doing our own thing. But but to go back, yeah, like it seems like, oh, you're a cover band, like that's like, I mean, it's a commodity in a way, and people can get their head around and go, that I understand. You can play weddings, you can do this, you can make a living. There's so much tied to what people perceive is your financial compensation, I think, as to how much sort of respect they're going to give, like, oh, that's nice that you have that thing that you do for fun, or, do you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever. If I speak to my mom, she'll be like, oh, that's really nice that you get together with your friends. And it's like, yeah. But I mean, I think if Maylin and I were playing weddings, she'd be like, well, that's just great, so
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And oh man, we could talk about this all episode.
Yeah.
It's almost like they want to make you prove it. I got that one right here.
You do. All right.
On deck. Okay, so we are here. It is episode 251 of the Terrell Effect. We're here with Bad Breed. We're gonna get into some music. I'm gonna play "Make Me Prove It." Before I do that, though, is there a little lead-in you want to give about the song?
Yeah. This was a song I do the lyrics in the group, right? Maylin and I, worked on the music together, etc. Yeah, this is a song that I was falling in love with somebody who lived on the other side of the world. And it's just a song to say, everything I say is it, just believe me when I say this is happening. And, you can believe in me, make me prove it,
Okay. Let's get into it.
Maybe it knows everything.
You can hear it, right?
Yes.
One velvet evening song. Oh, answer me, answer now, darling, answer. Maybe it knows everything longingly. One velvet evening song. Whoa, answer me, answer now.
This is you, both of you singing? No?
Oh, that I'm playing the guitar, I'm playing the bass,
and the keys.
and the keys. The lead vocal is Catherine, a singer that was collaborating with us for the album, and I'm doing the backup vocals.
Okay.
And of course, Mike's voice is there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm big on the build-up. Like, you know what I mean? Music now is like a brick. It just smacks you. But like, You know what I mean? You had the intro, the lead up. It blossomed into something as opposed to just appeared as
Right.
the song. You know what I mean? I'm really big on that.
Yeah. You know, it's just a way of crafting songs. There's so many ways to do things, you know what I mean? But
yeah. Oh yeah. It's like I have a mixer and I have an amplifier. They both do the same thing. So you can kind of plug one into the other, or you can plug each of them into the other one. But the way you connect it determines how much sound and how much amplitude you're gonna get out of it. Kind of thing. So I think that's what a lot of similarities to structuring the music. It's like you can play a bass with the guitar, with the piano, but like what do you want to stand out and what do you want to support, kind of thing.
Yeah. No, 100%.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, for this one we did, and this one we recorded it with no drums. It was just and at the end I thought, like, I want to hear like a beat on that. So I just played a bunch of beats. We sampled them. Like I played the drums, and I played the drums on this record as well, right? So we just myself and the producer put it together, and it just worked great for me. And Maylin's doing a bass solo here.
Yeah. Like every bassist I've ever known has been male. So when you said that's not to say female bassists don't exist.
Yeah, most of the bass players they are male. Yes, true.
Yeah, so that's why I was just like I was shocked because this like it's unfortunate, but we put people in places based on how we think they should be, as opposed to I wish we judge people based on their aspiration as opposed to their appearance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I play bass as well, because I am a rebel in my own life. So everything that is not the norm, I'm always there. So, and I love to see myself as a female bass player.
All right. Yeah. That's awesome. I think that's part of the reason I played hockey, because everybody was like, you shouldn't, like, you don't play hockey. Okay, let me show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think isn't like somebody telling you that you shouldn't do something like a humongous motivator? I mean, I'm sure for some people it beats them down and down, but if you can flip that around like Maylin is saying or that you're saying,
Yeah, last week, I was talking about it last week, because you see my t-shirt wall, right? And like when someone offers me, or like I interview people, like I said, this is the 251st episode, so I've been
that's wild people. Congratulations, by the way. That's a lot of episodes.
Thank you very much. And it's been every week consecutively. Something else that I picked up from Vince McMahon, longest, I think I am the longest running weekly episodic podcast out here, and if I'm not, then I need to see proof.
You're about to. Yeah, if you're not,
congratulations, man.
You're neck and neck. That's great, man.
Yeah. Like it's going on its 5th year. I'm just like,
wow.
And everything that happens is like, I appreciate the fact that people are willing to take time out of their day to come and tell me a bit about themselves, so that I can A, learn something new, B, further myself and my craft, and B, possibly, get some more attention on you and what you're doing. And then we'll have this up on YouTube. It stays up there, so you can refer to it at any point in time. And,
we definitely will. We most definitely will. Yeah.
And I like, with all the people that I work with, I always offer an opportunity to work on a show together. I know the climate right now is so but yeah.
You mean like a live show type deal?
A live show, yeah.
Like, well, the two of us are up for that. Yeah.
Okay.
We just started playing shows again a couple of weeks ago. We've done 2. We've got 3 coming up. So
nice.
We're ready. We're ready to
rock,
man.
We're
and we are fully vaccinated.
Okay.
We just we're talking, right? Like we're still
talking.
Live.
It came up. We talk about whatever, bro. So yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. We just found out the hard way that like the if you don't have that vaccine, you're not getting into these nightclubs to play the shows. At least not the ones that we're playing. So we unfortunately had to find a new drummer for
a new drummer.
Like today. new drummer because
Wow.
our guy, and this is not me judging anything. It's just some people are vaccinated, some people are not. However, for us, if we want to continue to do what we like to do in these clubs, and again, I guess we could talk the whole show on how is that good or bad or fair or unfair. But anyways, we found ourselves in the position where it's like, we need a drummer right now for these particular dates. Please come and play with us. So yeah. And that's real life right now. Yeah,
it is. It really is. And like when this happened, I don't know if my wife's a clairvoyant or she just, because she's like, watch, they're gonna find a way to make us have to get it. I'm like, oh, you know what you talking about? And then here it goes. It's like, okay, you can't go here. Like what got me again, like this is like, you can't go to any major theater or arena without it. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like, that's my, like, I'm building up to that. That's my bread and butter. Okay, fine. I'm gonna do it because y'all said do it. But Lord have mercy, if anything goes wrong with me, I'm bringing it right back to them with the fury of ferocity.
It's hard, man. I hear you, and like but I mean, Maylin, that's your story as well, right?
It's
like,
my story as well. I wait to the very last
minute
minute to get vaccinated. I wait.
Yep.
It's not because I'm against the vaccination. I'm not against the vaccination at all. Don't take me wrong. It was that I wanted to have the liberty of get vaccinated when I wanted to, not that you push me to. There are two different things here. So, but now I got pushed first because I'm a teacher. And I don't know if you know, that's the law. They said it like that. If you don't want to get vaccinated, go and get another profession. It was as simple as that. That's how bad it got into the teaching for us.
Wow.
So you either are fully vaccinated or you go and you do something else. That was one thing. And then the clubs. I cannot play music in the clubs unless I'm fully vaccinated. So I was like, okay, let me go and do it. Yeah.
And I think I was in denial about that. Like, I mean, I knew that one of our people was not going to do that. And then the reality came, and I spoke to a promoter a couple of days ago, and they're like, yeah, no, sorry, there's no exception. So I was like, man, okay. All right. That literally forces, you gotta, oh man, I don't even know, what, this is another subject we could talk all day about, but yeah, it's crazy times, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sitting here like, it's almost like there's a war with myself trying to figure out.
It's almost like that.
I was there and I'm just like, okay, you know what? My immune system's strong. You know what I mean? I'm good. I got this. And then I'm just like, but I'm going to be around a lot of people. And those people might not have the same integrity in their system as mine. It's just, I want it to be over with. I think that's where I'm at this point. I just need it to be. It's like, if you don't want to do it, do everything you have to do to avoid what it's going to create. You know what I mean? You have to do all the extra washing, all the extra stuff that comes with it. If you are gonna do it, just get it done and call it a day. But like, make an educated decision based on the research. Talk to your doctors. You know what I mean? Speak to the medical professionals. Don't just Google it. Like, you have to.
Why not? Everybody else does. Isn't that the way everybody figures their stuff out now?
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of hypochondriacs because of Google.
There most definitely are. I'm going to just say personally, my own doctor, who I love, who I've been with for over a decade, is taking a full year off starting this month because he got so discouraged with people getting angry at him and arguing his medical opinion about this pandemic. And I think I talked to him and he was just genuinely sad. He was just like, man, I went all these years to school to do this, and I'm a professional, and now I've got half of my patients like angry and disrespecting me all the time. And I was like, man, that's got to be rough. So I guess there's a lot of people Googling everything and going like, and again, here's the thing, I don't know either. You know what I mean? But I felt for him. I felt for him.
Definitely. When you make it your life's work to help other people who don't want to accept the help that you studied to give them, it's like,
you have to work with yourself. You have to work with yourself.
War with yourself, man.
Oh, this is funky.
Yeah.
I like this. Not that I like it all so far.
You know one thing about our album, David, that we have all of the songs. They are different. They have their own personality.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's always important to us. Yeah. You know, mixing everything up.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And we also love intros.
Yeah. I try to segue. Okay. Just switched up. Like I feel like I'm watching a movie right now. Like,
Good.
you know what I mean? Like there's an action scene of some sort happening. You know what I mean? Someone's like this guy's like trying to get away from like the authorities or some shit. Like,
That's so funny.
you know when they turn the corner and they throw the trash in front of the people to keep
Oh my
running?
God.
Yeah.
I can
Like
so
some-
see that.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Yeah, this is our little weird epic. Like we kind of do a whole lot of stuff in one little song, tell a bunch of different little stories and something.
Oh man.
I went to war with myself. I went to war with myself. I went to war with myself.
Oh man. Have you done a video for this? There's
Yes,
a video
we
for
have.
this?
Yeah. Yes,
It's on YouTube.
yes. But you're saying, but we should get your idea and redo it. You know what I mean? Get your
Honestly,
own-
I have like a running idea with it right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So is this? Can I just ask? Is this on the thing? Like when you're playing the music, can everybody hear us just talking about
Yes.
the music? Oh, so
Yes.
it's all happening. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this is. I think. No, this isn't the. Is this the first song we did together? I can't remember.
Well, which one's up? Yeah. It's the first one.
Yeah.
I like when I lose myself in the music and become a fan again. You know what I mean? Like I'm always, you know, like in search mode or in like some mode, but like when I get to listen to music and I forget about all the et ceteras that go with bringing it together. That's what
Yeah.
I really enjoy.
I hear you, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we could do that for somebody, then we're doing something right. You know?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I can, like, man, October 2nd, I'm doing a community cookout in Welland. We're going to have Cooking Control come down. Johnny Armani's going to be here. LG the chef. Because every time he cooks jerk chicken, there's at least one person that I hear about it from for weeks after.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I saw your posts about this. This is this is like your annual thing.
Well, it's going to be an annual thing.
It will be. Okay, sorry.
It will be because it got such a good response the first one. We're gonna we're gonna squeeze another one in before the winter.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. I was so like this is the kind of music, the kind of vibe that I want there though. Like
yeah,
definitely. Like
Thank
it's something
you.
that people can just let loose and just kind of like I can feel Havana. You know what I mean? I can feel Havana. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like I should be doing something like this. You know what I mean? Kind of just moving with it. I don't know exactly if it's a salsa or a tango, but you know what I mean? And then the fusion, like you can feel I always get metal and rock mixed up.
What's that?
I always get metal and rock mixed up.
Right. Yeah. This is more for me. This is rock, right? Like I'm doing my rock vocal thing, but we've got all the funky stuff that Maylin's playing on the bass, and you know, that's incredibly important to us is a groove. You know what I mean?
It's so funny that you said that you hear Havana in there because I have a friend of mine. He's a Cuban musician who lives in Calgary. And when he first heard our music, he said to me, Mailing, I can hear exactly what you said. I can hear Cuba. It's like Cuba. What are you doing there? I said, well, it's in my veins, so it's always
Yeah.
going to come out, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our first single off the album. So we released that album like in the summer of 2020, and that was our first single. There's a video for that one. That was usually the one that we would open our shows with when, prior to, shutdown, etc. But that's it's a good opener, man. It just sets a tone for, what we're doing for the rest of the evening.
Definitely. Oh my goodness. Okay, so like, we gotta, and like, if there's a way to even build a show down there, and I could bring a couple people from down here up there,
that would be great.
Yes.
We should do that, man.
I know a couple people. I know a couple people who are ready to perform. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I give them a month's notice because you gotta adjust schedules and everything. But they're ready to perform. Like, so.
Okay. If you want to do something, we'll just talk business on the podcast. But if you want, like, not business, but fun, like, art, but we would love to do that. I mean, we would love to come to you and bring you guys to us, and we would love to do shows like that, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sitting here like, I don't know if October 2nd is too short notice, but we'll see. We'll figure something out.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Sorry, what day of the week is that?
Saturday,
October 2nd, Malin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about, I just got to double, I can speak for Malin and I. We can speak for ourselves, but we got a couple of other people that we have to get on board. But yeah.
Of course. So because like we did it. I don't know if you're familiar with Phineas and Ferb, but
because I have a daughter, I am familiar with Phineas and Ferb. Did Denzel watch that, Malin?
Maybe, but I'm not aware of.
Yes, because it has what's Perry the Platypus, right?
Yes.
And so my daughter watched it all the time, and I would always pretend that I misheard it, and I would call him Barry the Platypus, and she would just constantly, his name is Perry. I was like, Barry? Anyways, yes. So yes, I have Barry the Platypus stuck in my head. Anyways, yes, Phineas and Ferb. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I said to the people that were like, to the staff, to like everybody, I'm like, okay, listen, this got to be like Phineas and Ferb. It's got to happen, and then make it look like it never happened. And the only trace of it happening was the stage that was still out there, because we have like, I'd say about 3/4 of a football field for a courtyard.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So our backyard had like its fence, but then beyond the fence, it opens out into a courtyard, and like there's enough space for the kids to play, the music to get set up, barbecues, and like
it was nice, man.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. But it's a community thing, because we're building the sense of community, like the sense of, hey, like, I see you, I acknowledge you. Let's congregate and see if there's anything good that will come of it, kind of thing.
That's great, man.
And that sounds like a beautiful idea. Yeah.
It honestly, I was on edge because there was a little bit of talks about, things not going as well as it did. But then, like, when it came together, there was only two major complaints that went through the whole crowd. And one was that we took too long to bring out the food, which I understood. You know what I mean? I get it. Don't tell me there's food there and take forever to give it to me. I'm hungry. Like, I leave, I travel with my appetite. And
I hear you, man. Yeah, I hear you.
The second one was the bathrooms. But like, we didn't expect as many people as came. So just okay, one bathroom will do.
No.
But that's good. If you look at it positively, it's good. Yes, that means that you got more people than you expected. So
man, if those are the two complaints that came out of it, it sounds like those are fixables for the next.
Yeah,
it sounds like you'll have that on the top of your brain for the next time.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start cooking from like 11 o'clock. The show starts at 12. Okay. So we're gonna start cooking from 11. So when they come in, they just get their food, sit down, and then like once they have their plate, they get checked off, and then you know what I mean. If they want to get another plate, it's $8 a plate, and It's
Nice.
I'm telling you, you ain't going nowhere and spending $8 and getting as good a food as you're gonna get from here.
I was gonna say for $8
I
you
could
get
cook
the full
some of
plate.
my rice, Mike, my Cuban thing.
Yeah. Maylin's,
Hey.
yeah. Maylin
Is it-
was doing this, but you have like experience doing similar things. Like you would do like community oriented shows in your backyard, right? And
Yes.
Maylin would do all the like Cuban cooking, et cetera, et cetera.
Is
So
it
yeah,
called
those
a
are.
Is it called a arroz con pollo?
No, it was called Trova Beads. Trova Beads. And I
Okay.
did it like 3 years ago on my backyard every Sunday. So I will cook the food and everything. So I have experience. You have to cook earlier. Yes, you have to.
Yeah. It's no lie. I'm thinking, but here's my thing. I said, like, I was so particular. I wrote like from 2 o'clock till 10 o'clock, 5-minute increments.
Mhm.
That's a lot of time, I realized, over the course
Hold
of
on,
the
you
week.
literally planned out from 2 to 10 in 5, like at 10:07, at 10:15, this will happen.
Yes. I had it all mapped out, and I was so proud of myself. I did superhero pose. And then Saturday happened, and I told the vendors to be there by 12:30.
Yeah.
I said the bands had to be there an hour before their set.
Mm-hmm. Sounds reasonable.
Yeah. My executive producer showed up at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
A.m. He showed up at 8:30 a.m. before
Okay,
everybody
good.
else. Yeah.
All right,
Then the chef LG, he showed up at around 10:30. So I'm like, okay, everything's coming together. My IT guy Greg showed up at he showed up around 12. So I'm like, okay, so we got everything started and everything was going. So I'm like, okay. So then 12:30 hits and I'm waiting for a vendor. No vendor. Okay, so I'm doing whatever I have to do. If I give you, I respect the fact that y'all took my time seriously because I take your time seriously. Not everybody does that though, and I'm sure you know this as being performers. Oh yeah, you're on at 10. 10 o'clock shows up. It's gonna be 10:30 before you actually get to the stage. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm familiar with
I'm
that.
there. Yeah, I'm there, and I'm like, all right, cool. 1 o'clock gets here. Still no vendors. All right. Well, I know one vendor is coming for sure because he lives in the area. I'm getting a message from another vendor. Oh, I'm just leaving now. Wait a minute. Did you look at the logistics, brother? You have to drive an hour and a half. It's 12:30 now.
Now, so are these vendors like food? Like this? Does this have something to do with the food?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem because I hear
vendors,
you, man.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So leading up to the event, like I called everybody weekly. The day of the event, I messaged everyone at 7:30. By 7:30, I had everybody message. So one vendor gets there at 1:40. I'm like, okay. It took me an hour to get him what he needed because by the time he got there, I already had 20 people pulling me like this.
Yeah,
So like,
but this is a very ambitious project that you've put yourself in the middle of, though.
Yes.
And also
it's
the
like
fact
your own
that
little festival.
You were the center of everything. Maybe if you have someone just in charge of the catering or the food.
Yeah, but believe it or not, I had people in charge of the food. I had people in charge of the tickets. I had people in charge of the raffles. It was just because things were evolving. Like I had to, as the situation changed, I had to get the information to everybody as it was changing. So
wow,
yeah, it was.
Now, how did
fun,
you feel at the end of the day when it was all over? Did you just go like? Breathe out.
I was like this.
Yes.
And I picked up my title and I raised it in the air.
Listen, I would have done the same thing, man. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was like I have never put on, like, that was the most successful event that I have ever organized on my own. Well, I say on my own, but with the help that I had. But I still feel like it could be better, and that's what October 2nd is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, this time we're giving away keepsakes. We're going to have the porta potty. We have
number one,
Yeah, we have a few of the same bands. I'm hoping my sister and my dad come out because the two of them right there, two of them alone could cook enough to feed everybody.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I'm a
Wow.
good cook as well. I'm a good cook as well.
okay, so the three of y'all, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We could do that. So
Maylin is a great cook, by the way. Yes.
yeah,
Just on top of everything else, being a great person and mother and bass player and singer and artist and teacher, great cook. So there you go.
oh man, that's good. That's good. That's what's
man.
up. Let me see this here. Okay.
All right.
I
You're
have
looking at a
few
folder.
songs
Okay.
Not in my life. I'm looking at the folder in the real world. I do
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
All right. Let's do in the real world. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Lots of synth to start. Yeah, we did this. This album is like a 6 or 7 person collaboration. Like Maylin and I are the core, the center of this group, right?
Yeah.
But this particular album, we had a lot of talented people working on it, and yeah, so like we had 4 vocalists, including the 2 of us. We had players from the jazz world, from the blues world. Maylin's coming from the Latin world, like
We had Denzel.
We had Denzel. Yeah, Maylin's son is a very, very talented classical pianist and violinist, and he played on the record. So we're lucky, man. We had a lot. We know a lot of talented people.
It kind of sounds like the Basementals in the sense of like we have a core group, and then other people add to it too. So it's nice to hear that kind of eclectic thing. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I will tell you that when the bass drops in this is my favorite part of the record. I love Maylin's bass line when it comes.
Okay.
Okay, get ready. Sorry, I'm hyping it up now.
If I see you in the real world, baby, would you hold my hand? And if I see you in the real world, baby,
this is now we're in a parlor right now.
Yeah.
And like she's standing in front of the stage, like the spotlight on her in front of the piano. And you got your bass over here playing, you know what I mean? Kind of just vibing.
Yeah. This is, I always thought, to me, this is like Maylin's reggae bass line on the album,
Yeah.
Would you hold my hand?
And then we go somewhere completely different.
Your tempo changes are impeccable.
Ah, thank you. Yeah,
I
don't know.
Yeah, they're very smooth, and they're unexpected too. Sometimes it's choppy. You know what I mean? It's like the drum leads and then the guitar kind of follows and then the bass gets in there. But this was just like, okay, what?
Well, I mean, Maylin and I love, like everybody does, we love like Motown, we love R&B, like that kind of stuff. So it has to be tight and straight, and you've got to be able to, you know what I mean? I mean, we're not about screaming and yelling in your face. We just want to kind of, make you feel something.
Yeah. And I'll send you a copy of the mix afterwards, so you can hear it, vibe to it.
Wow. But yeah, for this record, so I started out as a drummer when I was 12, and I did drumming. I played drums in groups, until I was in my 20s, and then I just gave up. I switched to being a vocalist, and I picked up the drums again for this record because I had never actually played. Because we put this record out on vinyl, like a very small amount of copies, and I just, in my head, I was just like, I want to hear myself playing drums on a record. You know what I mean? Because I grew up with vinyl records. So that kind of inspired me to just, pick them up again and go like, okay, I got to do this. I must do this. Yeah. And but yeah, and then like I said, we've had great luck we've had a gorgeous, amazing drummer from the jazz world playing with us. But now we got to go somewhere different.
yeah, you can go for the like. There's so much. Like your music creates like visions. Like I could see stuff. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words right now because I'm still listening to the music. But it's like I can envision scenery while listening to this kind of thing. Like different things happening where sometimes I'm just listening to the music and I'm just hearing the music. And not to discredit anybody whose music I play, but it's just like I could hear like I could hear it, but I can envision something as I'm listening to it. That's I can explain it. This is as promised.
This is as promised, yeah. So this one we got a couple of players from like the avant-garde jazz scene in the city. Our friend Mark Hundavad is playing vibes, and our friend Patrick Smith is playing saxophone at the beginning. We just kind of came up with the main melody and said, can you guys just do an intro? Again, intros, right? It's just something, hearing a lot of different, 70s rock stuff that was kind of going all over the place, and then getting into jazz and getting into, things like that. It just started. Yeah, I just love the idea of songs moving in a direction, right? And there's nothing wrong with something going in a straight line, right? There's lots of songs that work great like that, but we're just looking for different, emotions and different twists and turns.
Yeah, there's enough people doing the same thing. We need people who are originators. We need more originators. We need people who can stand behind their craft. You know what I mean? Like
I think that's
yeah. The chemistry, y'all, like the chemistry is great. You know what I mean? Like y'all play off of each other very well too. So
here it is as promised.
Here we go.
Here it is as promised, darling.
Here it is as promised. Here it is as promised.
So
darling. Lace your fingers deep in mine. You don't even know what you're doing to me without even trying. You're every star in every sky, every moon and every side. Thunderstorms and shards of ice carve your name into the night. You're every star in every sky.
I wanna feel your breath on me, quiet, softly, slow. I wanna feel your heartbeat fast and never let you go. There is war every day. There is crime all the time. I just wanna be yours.
And if it's okay with you, then please be mine.
Okay. Okay, that was spine chilling. That
good.
I'm not even gonna try and hit that note.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't register in my octave.
Yeah. No, we're lucky. I mean, Maylynn's a gifted singer. Catherine is a gifted singer. I'm just there to, be in the mix. But I think that's the thing. I mean, for me, it's just like surround yourself with better musicians, like people who are that you look up to, and you think, oh, I want to be able to sing like that when I grow up. You know what I mean? So.
And I think it's very important also the way we connect with each other, because we are all in our lives right now at the same point, and we are pursuing the same things. We have the same interests, and that makes our collaboration unique as well.
Yeah.
When we are on stage, it's like we're telling story to each other, we're feeling it, and I think the audience feels it as well. And that's why usually when we play this song, people are like, "Oh my goodness, what is this?" And
Yeah. It's funny because we weren't including this song in our set lists prior to the pandemic. We just said, well, that's an album song, but since we started again, we've been playing it, and it works really well.
This, and correct me if I'm wrong because I haven't done a full analysis of it. I'm just hearing it now for the first time. But this sounds like that wedding song.
I'm not sure. Do you know what?
Yeah, like
what
a wedding song. I feel the same way. Like a wedding song.
Oh,
It's
like
when
a
you
wedding song?
Like a wedding song.
Oh, I
promising
got
to
it.
each other love forever. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like that sounds like if I were marketing it, I would market that as the wedding song. Like that's people like
because
yeah.
I mean, listen, man, it's an album full of love songs, right? I mean, it's written during a period of falling in love with somebody, right? And just trying to speak directly to that person. So just to give you a little insight for me, I rushed out to get that vaccine because my wife lives in New Zealand. I haven't seen her since 2019, you know?
Holy
and
shit.
Yeah, I got married in December 2019. I came back here. She was supposed to come here in April. We've never seen each other again. And, you know, so again, just to tie it back in, like when I heard, I was just like, I'll take anything. If that means I can get on an airplane and fly somewhere and see this person. Now that hasn't happened yet. However, but yeah, so this is an album of songs sung from me directly to this person on the other side of the world, you know, essentially, but sung by myself and Mei Lin and others. But yeah, that's what this is.
That is very heartfelt. That is honestly one of the most genuine things I've heard where it comes to like music. And I mean, I hope all the best for you and in your plight, because I can't go to the corner store without longing for my wife. So I can only imagine.
It's been a long pandemic, man. And by the way, that's very nice to hear, because a lot of times, you know, it's funny, you know, you hear people who are married and there's sometimes, you know, there's that kind of you know, whatever, everybody's different, but I guess here's what I'll say. I like when people speak nicely about their partner. I like to feel that people, you know, because that's the ideal thing, right? If you fall in love with somebody and you're with that person, you really hope that feeling's going to mutually be, you know, it's going to stay there, right? So, and I know it's difficult. It's not for you know, not everything works out perfectly for everybody. I get that, but it's nice to feel that. Yeah.
We broke tradition. We, like, you know how the day of you're not supposed to see each other. Nah, that didn't work. We went everywhere together. Just I had to get my tie, she had to get something, and then we were just back and forth. And we bumped into my mom in the mall, and she's like, "I love my mom. I love my mom to life." She's like, "David," I'm like, "Yes, mom. You don't know I say nothing there with her till the end of the day." And I'm just like, "Yeah, but we only have one car." She's like, "You couldn't call someone and ask if I borrow them car?" No, because I don't want to inconvenience anybody. You think along.
Man, it sounds like it didn't. It sounds like it worked out for you. I mean, with the joy in your voice speaking about your wife, sounds like maybe that's the thing to do, is spend the whole day with them on the day of, and things will work out better. You know.
Hey, you never know, man. Like the wife injure. I call her the wife-inger because she manages me and she's also she holds it down, man. I'm telling you, like I don't even want to know where I'd be without her. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at.
I hear you. No, but anyways, it's nice. It's nice when people speak nicely. If you're in a relationship, it's nice when it seems like people are happy. It makes me. I drive during the entire pandemic, I've been driving like Uber and Lyft. There's been no music to do, right? So I've been doing a ride share because it was something that I could do, especially when we were locked down. I was allowed out of my house to do that. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning. And it's, you know, you drive a lot of couples, a lot of people, and, you know, you get a lot of different vibes from different people. And sometimes when people are really kind to each other and speak, and you can hear that they're like, I kind of want to go like, hey, it's just really nice. You know, I never say anything. I don't go like, you guys seem like a really nice couple, but like, I feel it. Same with people and their kids. If somebody's actually speaking respectfully and nicely to their kid, like, that's nice too. You know, it's just nice to see people happy
I
with
think,
each other.
you know what? I think you should try it. I think like not overstepping, but like I think you should try it because some people don't even recognize that
Mm.
they're doing something that other people are watching and being positively influenced by. So like
I
I know.
said, sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
said something once. I picked up the same man twice in a week, right? And he
Yeah.
was with a woman the first time. And just again, I'm not trying to eavesdrop, but like people are chatting while I'm listening to the
Yeah.
radio. And it struck me. I thought, man, this guy's really, this lady was going through a hard time. He's really nice. I picked him up again 5 days later. And he got in and I said, I picked you up last week. And he's like, did you? And I was like, yeah, you were with a woman, and, you know, and she was having a rough time. And he said, oh yeah, I remember that day. And I said, like, I just want to say, I thought it was, you were really, you know, you were really kind to her. I thought that was nice. I did. That was the one time I mentioned something, but it, you know, just at it, but it was because I saw him twice, you know?
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, I think, and you know what? If you adopt that theory, then that'll probably get you out of any potential foot and mouth syndrome, which I tend to suffer from. I remember I used to walk around telling people to smile, and they're like, well, you don't know what I've gone through. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, so
oh no.
I just smile at people now, and if they smile back, then you know it's it's a good thing. If not, then they fault insurance. It's whatever.
Yeah, I hear you. But yes, no, I hear what you're saying though. It is, you know, people aren't always genuine with each other. And when you see somebody, you see an act of kindness or something like that that speaks to you, you're right. You should, if you have the opportunity to say it to them and say, you know what, I hope you guys are, you know, good luck, because you guys sound like you're really happy together or whatever. So yeah, next time I will do that.
I remember, like I said, I'm outspoken. I'm brazen at points. I remember one of the first times I went out with my wife. We went out with one of my friends, well, two of my friends, and they brought us to a bar where they were giving out free beer. Plus, my friend was buying rum and cokes like it was going out of style. So between the 2 rum and cokes that he brought me and the 4 beers that they put beside me on the table, I was just hogwashed. So so I'm there and we're walking to the car, and I'm just like, and I hear this couple over here bickering, and I'm like, you guys shouldn't be fighting. Be in love.
And it worked, right? They turned to each other, and hearts came out of their eyes, and it was perfect. Right?
They looked at me like, what the fuck is this drunkard doing? And I'm like, my grandma gave me this sweater, and I just walked away.
But I mean,
they stopped arguing though. So.
Good. I hope you fixed everything for them. Yeah. But it's nice. No, it's nice. I mean, again, like Maylin and I are both single parents, right? Like, you know, and we, you know, Maylin has a son, I have a daughter, and, you know, I think that's another thing I really like. I see Maylin with her, you know, when I hang out, we rehearse at Maylin's place a lot. And I love the way that Maylin is with her son, like the loving and respectful and kind, etc. And the way that I strive to be with my daughter. I just love, you know, there's a lot of, as we've touched on, there's a lot of negative stuff happening in the world and all around us. So it's nice to at least register that and take stock and remember that, you know what, there are also like beautiful people, friends, you know, nice thing, relationships.
And before I throw it to Maylin again, and one thing that I appreciate love again, is the fact that as a man, we're talking about feelings and emotion and how it affects us and that kind of stuff, because we don't often do that as much as we should and could in order to teach the other, because there's a lot of things happening right now with, like, I mean, we'll talk about Western for a second. There's something happening out there that is unacceptable, but it's like, when wife asked a question the other day, she's like, what are we teaching our boys?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what are we teaching our girls? You know what I mean? Like, I know I've taught my daughter, if he looks at you a way you don't like it, you throat punch him. And I know that's not the right thing to teach her.
Throat punch.
Throat punch, No, but like I said, I'd rather talk to the principal than the paramedics. Like, that's just the point that I'm at right now. So, like, what would you suggest or recommend, Maylin, in the sense of like how, like, what would you say to a young woman growing up at in these times right now?
Well, if I told you the truth, because I do not like the gender separation. I don't think we should say something to the women and something to the men. I think the message should be just one. And
Uh,
I think that's exactly where the mistake or where the issue arise. We think that we have to say some stuff to the women and some stuff to the men. I think is my perspective, okay? That we should have one unifying message for both of them, exactly to try to deconstruct that separation, because that separation, in my perspective, is not helping at all. Okay, so I think we should give emotional education to our kids, emotional education that is not happening at schools.
Yeah.
And I think I would say to all these kids, all these children, it doesn't matter the gender, that you have to pursue healthy relationships
mm,
and stay away from toxicity. You know what I mean? So if you are in a relationship, you young person, and it's toxic, stay away from it. Healthy relationships, and I think that's what we have to teach our younger generations. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if they are women or men, because in a relationship, if it's toxic, it affects all of us. You know what I mean? And sometimes we have toxic relationship with our parents, with our friends, with our teachers. You know what I mean?
yep.
With our marriage. So I think we should teach the younger generation how to detect when a relationship is not healthy and is toxic. But I think we even have to teach ourselves, because a lot of people from our generation, we go through a toxic relationship through another one, and we don't even uh, detect it is toxic. Even if it's your mom, you could have a toxic relationship with your mother, and you have to stop it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And sometimes we go from one to another one. So I would say that to the young kids from day one, which is what I do with my son. I have a boy at home, I don't have a girl, but that boy, it could be, you know what I mean, is getting together with girls anyway. So I always tell him, you have to respect each other. Respect. I have three rules in my life. They are love, respect, and freedom. And I always say to my boy, when you have a question, go through the rule of three. What are you doing? Is respectful? Is there love involved? Do you feel free making that decision? And that you will get right there. You will get your answer. So I would say
that
that
that is immaculate.
my
I
rule of three.
The rule of three. Okay, love,
Yeah,
respect, and freedom. That
and
is,
freedom.
and
That's my
I
rule
hope
of three.
I hope my daughter heard. Well, she should be able to hear that because I got the speaker on. We are live, and we have been. Oh my goodness, it has been an interesting conversation on the Terrell Effect, episode 251. Got to shout out Christy Hales for syndicating this on Liquid Fire Radio. I recommend looking her up as well. I will put up her contact information as soon as I find it. I have like a list of so many people that I have. There we go. Boom. IndieRocks.ca. Let her know I sent you.
All right.
She has.
All right,
She's got a.
Christy Hales.
Yeah. She's got a venue in Niagara Falls. The Upper Space. She does live shows and things of that nature.
Oh, well, then
Um,
we will be contacting Christy
yeah.
Hales then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we want to play all over Ontario. Yeah.
Yeah. She's a good one to contact. So yeah, and the Upper Space, check it out on Patreon, patreon.com/, the Upper Space, and on Facebook, Upper Space Music. Yeah, we got that
Right
going
on.
on. Okay, what else do we have here? I have That's What I'd Say on deck.
All right. Let's play it. Let's do it. I'm just going to add to what Maylin was saying, or what you originally, you mentioned, sorry, because this is on my mind. I was talking with my daughter about Western the other day. And Maylin, you know what we're talking about? Was it the first weekend? Like the first weekend there were, is it over 30?
Over 30, gender-related assaults.
Yeah. on the Western campus at parties that first weekend of drugging and sexual assault.
Oh, now you know what you're talking about. You're talking about the situation in Western University.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, in my university.
Yes.
The thing is that I'm not traveling there this year, so that's why I'm a little bit.
Right,
but I know.
Right.
Yeah.
But you heard.
Yeah, I heard.
I think you said, what are we teaching our sons? I mean, it's like, if we continue on with the attitude of like boys will be boys and therefore girls are always going to be in peril, then we're doing everyone a disservice. That is my opinion. I don't know. I don't pretend I know exactly how to steer the world in the right direction, but man, we collectively are doing something wrong if this is what's going on all year.
It's like the oh, he just likes you, but he's knocking your books out of your hand. No, he just doesn't have any manners. Like we gotta talk about identifying. And like I was a young man growing up, and some of the things that I did wasn't the greatest. You know what I mean? Like I used to occasionally pull hair because they were in a ponytail, and it's just like now I look back at it, it's like, oh shit. Probably should have done that. I was just trying to get your attention, but I didn't go about it the right way. But you know what I mean? And there are some instances like that where they just, like, as they are developing, certain behaviors are accepted because they're boys. You know what I mean? And it's like,
and I think that goes to what Maylin's saying. If we're saying to half the population, it's okay for this, or we'll look the other way, and the other half of the population essentially has to live in some frequency of fear because we're letting the one half do what they want, if that makes sense.
And then one more thing, if you teach people the rule of 3, by the time you get to that party and you apply your rule of 3, you leave that party because the respect is not there for you. So why would you stay in a place where you're not being respected?
Yeah, I hear you.
Why would you stay in a place where you're not being respected?
Well, unless you got drugged first, you know what I mean? Which is unfortunately what's going, I mean, if you didn't have the chance to go over those rules because you're suddenly passed out. But I hear you.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. It makes sense. Other side. Yeah, I know my daughter just came in and I'm just like, you hear that? Because she's going outside. Sometimes, like she was in her own backyard and one of the kids was like, oh, go away. I'm just like, I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm too grown to be arguing with a kid. But if I wasn't in my own wits, like in my own wits. But no, that's something, man. I guess all I want to say is that I don't even pretend to know it all. I know it's some. You know, I'm just looking at what I think I could have done better as a person growing up and trying to put that information into those who are still growing up.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I think everybody has things that from their youth they think, oh, yeah, not sure if that was the right way to go, so yes.
Sitting here like drop kicking the kid who pushed me into the fence. Yeah, that was understandable.
Yeah. No drop kick, huh? Yeah. Yes, that's different. Right?
Telling the teacher to suck it in high school, probably not so much.
Yeah. I hear you.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. It's a wild world.
It is. It really is. Like it's just. It has a gospel vibe to it.
Yes. Yes, it does, yeah. Lots of big singing on this one.
So, how can they get a hold of you? I know we have your Instagram up here, fam. Right there.
Yes.
That is it, @breed_band. Is that the best way to get a hold of you?
It is. Yeah, that's the easiest way. Just if you want to get a hold of us, you can DM us there. We have badbreed.ca. It's our website, but I think people are and we're on Facebook as well. But Instagram is the way that I do most of the communicating with other artists or people who are curious about whatever. So yeah, Instagram's the way.
Okay.
Please and thank you.
No problem. I'm finding that like a lot of people like, oh, a lot of people ask me about my Instagram, and I'm just like, no, I'm still on Facebook, bro. I should be on Instagram. I'm getting there more now, but it's just there's so many media outlets that you gotta be
Yeah.
aware of, and it's like every time you figure one out, there's a new one that does the same thing in a different way, and it's just like,
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
went through that.
Yes.
like
Well, Maylin, but you're more of a Facebook person, though, right? Like
I'm more of a Facebook
you're
person.
more consistently on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I would, if it wasn't for the band, I don't know what I'd be on. Maybe nothing. But yeah, like band wise, I'm very active there because that just seems to be where the other groups that we're playing shows with or promoters, etc., are very active there. So that's where I'm at. I don't,
I
we're not
don't
on.
think this is true, but my son, he's a 15-year-old boy. He said the other day to me, Mom, Facebook is for old people.
I've heard
Yes,
that before too.
I've heard that as well.
I've heard that before. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm sitting
But I
here
think
like,
there's like a comfortability in it, right? Like that for a lot of people at a certain age, it's like that was the first place that you started posting things and communicating with other people. It's
Yep.
like, I don't want the new thing. I'm happy with the old thing.
Yeah.
You do the new thing, So
yeah, you keep that over there. You know,
yes,
Go
exactly.
ahead.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. Yeah. But yes, so Maylin's the Facebook, I'm on the Instagram.
Yeah. My wife holds the Instagram, and I'm on the Facebook.
You see?
And
Yeah.
I mean, it works. Like nowadays, you need like a team. I gotta shout out the Team Action. Nowadays, you need a team to do anything, and it's just like, I work with an artist named Lushy Bantan. I recommend you look him up, Lushy Bantan.
I have actually. I
Okay.
have. I've seen a couple of videos, and it's great. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
You've got is that his logo in the background there, like the LB thing right behind you?
Yes, over here.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
right there.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Working with him, and then he built a team with me, Stevie Dread, Greg, Antoinette, and Jen Cheshire from Reggae Works. And we meet weekly, and we go over a course of action to further each person.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then once we figure out like what we've done in the last week to bring us up to speed, then we talk about what we're going to do in the next week. We have personal conversation in there as well, some sidebar banter and what have you. But
of course,
we meet for like an hour or two, and then from there we touch base with each other through the week based on who has what task to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I find since I've been doing that, everything has been going a lot more fluidly instead of me having to call 5 different people to get information and then forgetting it before I write it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all there. I can do it as we're talking, and it just makes things so much more fluid. So
I hear you, man. Yeah. Teams are important, like, I mean, even just Maylin and I are like a 2-person team, but we've got my wife does, like, for the last couple of videos that we've done, has done our editing, like has done the video editing for us, from New Zealand. That's where she's at. So but it's great. It's just, nobody can do everything themselves. If you're trying to be like an artist or whatever, or promote your music or any of that stuff, I defy you to do everything by yourself. It's difficult,
and even like you'll never get everything. If there's 10 things to do, you might get 5, and then you have to do the second 5 the next day, and then you realize that the first 5 actually relate to the second 5. So you try to do the middle 5, and that doesn't always work because you know what I mean. The end is really where the finish is to start to the beginning, and there's I'm telling you, I went.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
It's bonkers. So.
Yes, it is bonkers. Yes, it is most definitely bonkers. But yes, teamwork is the way to go.
Yes, definitely the way I make the dream work. I gotta shout out Small Scale Farms. Renee, the lady at Small Scale Farms, is going to be. Well, I'm gonna be picking them or purchasing them, but I'm picking up corn for the community cookout.
Oh, for the cookout. Yeah.
Yeah, picking up some corn. We're gonna have like the last time. Okay, so August 21st, I made 1 pot of corn. There was 24 cobs in there. We'll say, 24 cobs in there. I brought it out within 10 minutes. They were done. I had more corn, but no one told me that the corn was finished until the end of the night. So
Gotta get your team on that, man. You gotta
Yeah,
get somebody
man, I'm telling you.
relaying the info to you. More corn, please. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna cook the corn outside now, because I cooked it inside. I'm gonna get a pot and cook it on the barbecue outside so that it's always in rotation.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention Tanya Vividly.
Yes, she is the woman who introduced us,
Yes.
I would be remiss not to mention her. Yes, Tanya Vividly has submitted a few articles for the Culture Shock magazine over the last few months, and has been, I guess, a silent force in some of the things that have been going on. So
okay, I just wanted to say hi because I know she is the person who put you in touch with us and vice versa.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Tanya.
Yes, appreciate love that. So we're gonna let's see what we got here. Y'all got a minute? I'm gonna play a few songs from some of these artists.
Sure.
Some of them are new. I don't know exactly what they are, but I got them and I'm gonna play them. So
all right. So this is your first time hearing them?
Just my first time hearing some of them. Yeah. So
fingers crossed.
Let's see. Okay, this one right here. It's called Baby Food. It can't be like, come on. It's like really?
Baby Food. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Baby Food. Is the artist called Baby Food?
No, the artist is called Rennie Holiday. The track's called Baby Food.
Rennie Holiday, Baby Food.
Yup.
Everybody wants to take 15 minutes of fame. Me, I'm gonna need about an hour or so. And after that's done, I'm gone.
Before my arrival, my mama smoked cigarettes when I was born. You know I was sick. That's right. A chip on the shoulder that turned to a boulder. Now the worker suck my dick. Don't fuck with you niggas. No wrong with you niggas. Cross the line, it's over. That's it. My pops was never a pops.
This is pretty epic.
Yeah, man. It's got that epic feel with the strings. It's like the operatic feel.
That's what I was looking for.
Operatic.
The back of your head gon' look like a pack of sausage when I can blow off your face. I'ma let you know how the shit gon' go. Playtime is over right now.
Are these people, where is this? Do you know where these people are from?
They're located in Toronto.
In Toronto. Okay, there you go. Toronto artists. Hello.
Yep.
You're ready to kneel and kiss a ring and bow your bitch ass down. I got no time for the bullshit. You see me, respect me like royalty. I'm up for the lavish life. All I want is these bitches to spoil me. Go cut off the family because they lack integrity and loyalty. Matter of fact, when you see me, just act like you don't even know me. I own it. Fuck with the real and you fall from that. How do guys go and eat with a devil? What the fuck do you buy that at? Niggas out here, they breeding whores. Child support can go pay for that. Your child call you by your first name. Now what kind of man is that?
It's like that Rick Ross kind of.
I'm the company to your misery. Your fake fucks ain't shit to me. Now that I got this on my chest, I'ma rewrite my history. Rewriting it. Y'all niggas baby food. Baby food. Baby food. That's right, straight baby food. Y'all can't fuck with me.
I was wondering where the baby food part came in. I get it now. You call it.
That's
people
it,
soft.
man. People, they are soft like baby food, and baby food is soft. Nobody can deny that.
It is the softest.
Nobody can deny that. It is purposely soft.
Oh man.
People gon' hate on me. People gon' hate on me. That's what they do.
Okay. So we got, this is again Hitman for Hire. This is how we do it.
All right. It's Hitman for Hire.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, these two songs kind of go hand in hand right now. Like, I have another song by SBE called Stress. J Mac and J Woods. Also known as No Twin James and King JD. They're going to be performing October 2nd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's going
Nice.
to be... I mean, like, go ahead.
So who all is performing that day?
Crooked Control,
Okay.
Johnny Armani, LG, Zach Burry's supposed to be coming through, SBE, we might have a magician, might have a comedian, and then I'm gonna DJ
Right.
for a little bit, and then we have DJ Aram and the POE. And if you are coming through, then
Yeah.
you as well.
Okay. Well, I would love to come through. So
Me
we
too.
will check. We will check guitar and drums, and if we can get that happening, then yeah.
Okay.
Thank
And
you for inviting us.
No problem. And we're gonna have like equipment here too, so like
Okay.
you won't have.
Are you sorry? Since we're talking about this, are you gonna have like drum set equipment, or are you gonna have like what are you gonna have?
Yeah, drum set. We're gonna have the drum set. We have 2 stacks, bass stack, 2 guitar stacks. We might only be able to use one of them because like of the configuration, the specifics that run with it. So I don't want to interfere with it. But,
Okay, I hear you.
yeah, so there's 2 of them that we'll be able to use, but the drum sets will be here, and then we have a PA system as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you've got input for 2 mics, and so Maylin and I can both do our vocals, and we're good.
Yeah. We're good.
Definite, yeah. I have like when it comes to equipment, it's overkill. Like I literally have 3 studios worth of equipment in my house. I could set up 3 different studios on each, like 1 studio on each level with all the equipment.
You should just go up between each level and work on a different project every day. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm building my way up. Like I have the basement set up, so now the living room area kind of doubles. So now the next one is just to get something going on upstairs. And my daughter already has a laptop that she's working on. So
is your daughter working on music?
She's more of the art.
Okay.
She does more art, like graphic art and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
She can sing, and she'll sing from time to time, and like I'll catch her and she'll stop singing. But
how old is she though? She's younger.
She's 11.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yes. That makes sense.
Yeah, man. I was told because of my attitude I was going to have an ugly child. So my wife must have some strong genes. I'm telling you, she barely has a blemish. She has like a beauty mark right here. That's about it.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, no,
because of your attitude, you were going to have an ugly child.
I was going to have an ugly child. Yeah, man. Like them Caribbean folk don't play with your feelings, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is a very bold prediction about your future and the future of your child. Well, I'm glad it didn't turn out that way.
It gave me the opportunity to change my attitude, I guess.
I was about to say you must have made an adjustment in there somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Yeah, that was haunting me. You were like, I can't have an ugly child. I can't.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. Well, no, I can't complain, man. Like, the hardest time I have with her is her waking up for school. And even that, I don't blame her for, because who really wants to get out of their own comfort to go somewhere under anybody else's rule? You know
Not me.
Not me.
Yeah, I think yes, but that's a hard one because parents come down hard on their kids for that, because it's parents don't want the call from like your kid was late again. You're like, oh, Christ, go to school, like get up.
Yep.
I hear you, man. But that was always my thing with my daughter. I was like, I just don't want to hear from this, because they're gonna call me. They're not gonna call you.
Exactly. It's like I'm gonna look like the bad one, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't want to keep speaking to them. Thank you. So you just go to bed a little earlier. Thank you.
I already did that for 15 years. Thanks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they have a way. Is it just me, or like when you're talking to the principal, do they have a way of trying to make you feel like you're still a kid?
Oh, of course. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I had to tell one of them one time.
You feel like you're in a chair that's like a foot lower than them, and they're like here. Let me explain to you how it works. Yeah.
I had to tell them one time, yo, you have a job because of us parents, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you seem like the kind of teacher who takes things into consideration. Like, I wouldn't have this argument with you. But there's some teachers that think that, well, I am the high and mighty ruler of all
see that
children.
every single day in the educational system. Every single day. They are up here. And they treat everyone else down here. Parents, students, everything. My son said all the time, Mom, the Board of Education has no respect for us. And I always tell him, I see it every day, son. I see it every day. It's no respect. Yeah.
Yes. But they are doing a great job of preparing you for a job where your boss won't have any respect for you and tells you what to do and says, get up and come to work. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of the time where you, now I reflect on, I'm like, that's what they were training me for, was to be
Yeah.
obedient when it was time to have a
Being
job.
obedient. Being obedient. That's what I told him. I'm a rebel. So I can see what they're doing at the institution. It's very scary, man.
I hear
know
you. But that,
for years, in school, like I was in the band from like I was 8 years old all the way through high school, and even went to the International Academy of Design and Technology to study sound technology. But with what you're saying as the rebel, like we were supposed to wear a white shirt and black pants for every performance. I'd wear black pants and like a black and gold dragon shirt, or like a champagne shirt with like stars on it, or like a blue shirt with like stripes or something on it. I did that for years. We did 5 to 8 performances a year. I did that for years, and then the final performance, I wasn't even supposed to be in the school because I got expelled from the school, but they still let me in because I was the only drummer and I was the one who knew the set.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got in there to play, and that was the day I finally wore the white shirt.
Okay.
And everybody was so shocked. They were like, just like, you actually own a white shirt? Yeah, I had the whole time.
I chose not to. Yeah.
Exactly.
I made a choice.
Exactly. And I think
there's a lot of power in making a choice for yourself, you know?
Yes, there is. I got expelled because I tried to get my principal kicked out of the school for taking stuff from me. But
okay, wow, man.
Yeah,
you're trying to fight City Hall, and that's tough.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man, I got banned from City Hall in Welland because I was on the phone with the office of the premier, telling the office of the premier they needed to call the municipality of Welland to address the concerns that I presented to them relative to my property and the common areas. Yeah,
but you know that there's that saying, you can't fight City Hall, as in like no matter what you do, the top of the power will never, you'll never be able to make a change. And that's what it feels like when you're dealing with your principal when you're a kid, or your teacher, or whoever it is who wants to be an authority over you, you know?
I don't know, bro. Like, that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to feel.
Yes.
But you can do it. You're proof. You're living proof. Maylin is living proof.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And you know what's scaring me the most? When you tell, I always said my students, it's the first time they walk into my classroom. I always told them, I want you, when you walk into my classroom, to know that you walk into a place of where you're going to be yourself, happy and free, because that's what is music is for me. And you know what's scaring me the most? Looking at their eyes.
Yeah.
Because when you look at their eyes, you see that they are in surprise. It's like it's the first time someone is telling them these things.
That's probably because it is the first time somebody's told them.
In high school, so if we are living in a world that the kids are listening this for the first time in high school, that means that they have been for all these years in a system that has never allowed them to be happy or free in a classroom.
Yeah.
That's what's scaring me the most. Their eyes,
being in school, I remember being happy and free were very low on the list of things.
Yeah, very low on the list. Very low on the list.
Yeah, man. But yes, I'm sure they were very happy to walk into your class.
Oh, they love it. It's funny because they say, "Oh my God, the great teacher ever," and all that kind of stuff they say. And I said, "No, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be."
But then they have to go to the class before yours and after yours, which suck. So,
yeah. I know, but at least they get it on my class. They get it on my paradise. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
your paradise is very important. I'm
My
with you.
paradise. You know how I am about my
I know how you
paradise.
feel about your paradise. Yes.
But that's the
Stay
thing.
out of Maitland's paradise if you're gonna mess it up.
Everyone should be able to have their paradise. Like
Yeah.
they're like and it starts within the meditation of okay, like that room where you have access to everything that you need in your mind. And then it eventually develops and manifests itself into something literal. Like
Mhm.
I have a 20-year plan that I'm still working on. I started in 2007 and I'm now 14 years into it. One of the things I wanted to do was have my own brand, like my branded clothes. You know what I mean? I have that. I have, like I mentioned before, the studio that I can set up and work in. There's a network of people that I can either refer to or be referred to in order to, you know what I mean, learn what I have to learn to get to the next step. So
Yeah.
it's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
It is amazing, and if you are, especially if you are able to get yourself healthy, or mentally and physically and things, yeah, it is pretty amazing what you can do. Yeah, I agree. But you just have to be able to get to that place where you believe enough in you to do that, right? Because it doesn't matter if somebody else, you kind of need that. You need that, belief in you first, right? Then if everything else is nice and support, but yeah, you got to get there first.
Yeah.
I try to tell people all the time, it's like there's 7 billion people in the world to tell you you can't do it. You got to believe you can.
Yep.
Yep. There's no other way. There's no other way. Yep. I can tell you all day long that I believe you're going to be able to do it, but until you hear it that one time and say it back to yourself and believe it, I mean it.
Yeah. This has been great. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. Okay.
Yeah.
We got to do here now. We got another track.
All right.
Young Praise right here that we listened to. That was Into Deep, remixed by DK Lonely. This right here, like we got, like I said, man, we got over 70 gigabytes of music that I've collected over the last 7-9 years. And
Nice.
it's just like, if I were to do a 24-hour show, I still wouldn't be able to play all of it.
You would definitely not with that much. Yeah, you could do a week-long show. No repeats.
Yeah.
Twerk. Your bitch trying to do what the song say. I need a bitch like Beyonce.
Oh, man.
All of my bars up at Conte. Listen, ain't no shortcuts.
This is Johnny Armani and Young Praise. Young Praise is out in Alberta. Johnny Armani is a Buffalo native that's residing in Niagara right now. That man, he's the one who designed the flyer, actually.
Oh, the flyer for October 2nd?
Yeah.
The one with you at the stove?
Yep.
Nice.
Good
job. Good job, designer.
He's like, send me a picture. I'm like, okay. So I sent him a bunch of pictures. He's like, how do you like this? Like 5 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, I'll run with it.
Nice work. Yeah.
Your bitch trying to do what the song say. Your bitch is looking like wine.
Oh, man.
Why your bitch look like her rhyme, baby? I could you down to the party.
There's so much happening right now. So where are you then, Mike?
I'm in Toronto, and Maylin is in Toronto. We're both in Toronto. We're just on. I'm on the east end. She's in the west end. I'm about to get up in a couple of minutes and go to rehearsal with Maylin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive it. Yeah, so I'm at the east end of the city. Maylin's in the west. Yeah, and that's where we're at.
I used to live by, I've lived in so many places in the East End, like Scarborough Golf Club Road, Markham and the Lawrence area.
That's what I teach. I teach at Cedarbrae Collegiate.
You teach at Cedarbrae?
Yeah, that's right.
I went to Cedarbrae.
That's where I am. That's where I started last week.
Man, you should stop in for an alumni class and get a keyboard class with Maylin.
Yeah, that's exactly where I began teaching last week. This is my first week.
Oh my goodness,
that's crazy.
So what are the odds?
Very slim. Very slim odds.
Bombay. 13 trapping up the highway.
That's great.
Shots
Like,
make it lean like Bombay. Putting in work with
that,
a
I
long
mean,
day.
like,
I am a
that,
god, no
oh,
Kanye.
man. The universe and its mysteries.
Yeah, it has its mysteries.
Yep.
And you are revealing those mysteries right now on this podcast live.
For real. Magic. Okay.
It is all magic. My friend, I'm going to have to excuse myself. I got to get
Yes.
ready to go to rehearsal. But I wanted to
course.
thank you so much for having us on today. It was a great, enjoyable to chat with you.
It has been a pleasure. Anytime you guys have any music or any
man.
updates,
Oh,
by
as
all
soon as we
means,
put out our new stuff, which we are just at the very, very beginning stages of thinking about,
Yep.
I will get it to you. And I will
All right.
contact you on Instagram, my preferred social media of choice, and we'll talk about October 2nd. And thank you again.
Yeah.
Much
Yes.
appreciated.
Yes.
I need to
Sounds
grab
good.
something to eat before we have the rehearsal
Yeah,
at 2.
me too.
So
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Thank you, man.
thank you very much, David. It has been my pleasure.
Mine
And I
too.
hope I see you on October the 2nd for Self Cookie.
Yes, yes. Bad Breed, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you look them up. @badbreed_band on Instagram. Badbreed.ca.
Yeah,
Yes.
badbreed.ca, Facebook, Bad Breed, Spotify, whatever, all of it. Wherever you can go, we're there. We're everywhere.
All right.
All right?
All right.
So there.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
great
Yes,
Have
day.
a wonderful weekend, everyone.
All right.
Blessings.
Have a
Bye.
blessed one.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye.
Take care.
Smoking on that plain shit. I might pull up in your
All
city
right.
where the drugs at. I'm on the road doing shows.
We back.
God does that. And God we trust can't put nothing above that. Get this one for
We here,
all
we
the
jamming.
cities I get
We
love
still
at.
live.
I put up in Ohio,
That was
hit
Bad
up my
Breed,
nigga
ladies
Joe.
and gentlemen.
Touchdown like, yo, my
Shout out to
nigga
Tanya
really
Vividly
smoke.
for
He like what you
the
read.
connect.
I'm like bringing 8.
Where we at? 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 Yo, yo.
I'm trying to take flight. Telling all these hoes I'm only here for the night. Pants sagging, I walk up and I grab the knife. Show my ass on these niggas. I'ma spaz on these niggas.
Yeah.
I'm born loud in strange places. And I'm sharing words with strange faces. Different state, different country on that same shit. Rolling up, yo, getting higher than where the plane sit. And y'all already know who I came with. Plug and plug, we need to make an arrangement. I need some
This might be cute.
You so cute with your fine ass. Hey, another you, I never find that. Nah, she moving fast like a time lapse. I'm trying to climb. This beat really stupid as fuck.
I think this might be cute.
You so cute with your fine ass. Hey, another you, I never find that. So cute with your fine ass. Hey, another you, I never find that.
Yep.
She
Guess
moving
who's
fast like a
back?
time lapse. I'm trying to climb that.
That's right. Fabric is here. We got some ideas for him this year. Don't worry about it. Y'all about to see. Hey.
Another you, I never
Find
find
that.
that. She moving fast like a time lapse. I'm trying to climb that. Yeah, hey baby, sip up on this wine glass. Yeah, show me where your mind at. Baby, you gorgeous, body amazing. Little mama, you blazing. Damn, can I dance with the devil? You hotter than Satan. You stepping on dark and I gotta chase it. Going too hard and I gotta pace it. Oh, not Gucci man in the spot. Damn, I'm feeling wasted. Ain't nobody out here hotter than you. Ain't afraid to come and ride with the crew. Tupac, baby, I got the juice. Tupac, baby, I got the juice. Yeah, I just wanna see you naked. Time is precious, don't waste it. Want a shot here, take this. Then come and so cute with your fine ass. Hey, another you, I never find that. Nah, she moving fast like a time lapse. I'm trying to climb that. Hey baby, sip up on this wine glass. Yeah, show me where your mind at. You so cute with your fine ass. Hey, another you, I never find that. Nah, she moving fast like a time lapse. I'm trying to climb that. Yeah, hey baby, sip up on this wine glass. Yeah, show me where your mind at.
Look at your fine ass. I'm tryna find that. Reading your thoughts, I know where your mind at. Your titties, I signed that. Girl, I'm a star, how can I define that? You happy I picked you? Your girlfriend is stick to. Now I'm tryna get through. The rest of your squad, I give them the dick too. I know I'm a rude ass, but you got a cute ass. I pray for your love like a boot ass. When I first seen you like who that? Got me rolling on the late night. Hit the gym cause you shake right. Play dress when it's date night. In the bed, we play fight. Okay, right? Shorty take it all off. Bubble bath in the telly. She just like my chain. Lay your head on my belly. Private name, private number. Save that up in your celly. And make sure you hit me up, girl. Cause that ass on jelly.
Your fine ass. Hey, another you, I never find that. Nah, she moving fast like a time lapse. I'm trying to climb that.
Hey baby, sip up on this wine glass. Yeah, show me where your mind at. You so cute with your fine ass. Hey, another you, I never find that. Nah, she moving fast like a time lapse. I'm gonna climb that. Yeah, hey baby, sip up on this wine glass. Yeah, show me where your mind at.
This concept P, the beat Nike. Couldn't ask for nothing more. Getting suited in design of everything. I'm just going to the store. Different things in the hotel room, cause you run it out the floor. Turn the music down, keep it quiet, dog. Go and see who's at the door. Shorty's coming by the four. One had long hair. It was almost to the floor. Bunch of bottles in the place. Saw some liquor getting poured. Lot of ballers in the room. All that's missing is a chord. My game clutch in the north. Like Siakam in the fourth. Rolling a blunt and I'm about to face that. Inhale of it, draw, never waste that. Don't ruin my high, man, I hate that. She look good with her face tat. Oh no, we don't fake that. Keep it 100, I rate that. Just to stay facts. All of this money, I make that. Like a racetrack. The new whip gotta race that. ASAP. Victory, I could taste that. Celebrate that. We came a long way like postcards. Winning, I tinted up both cars. Oh Lord. Private. Getting suited in design of everything. I'm just going to the store. Different things in the hotel room, cause you run it out the floor. Turn the music down, keep it quiet, dog. Go and see who's at the door. Shorty's coming by the four. Bust the rounds, give me more. Who be knocking at the door? Light skin Cardi B, dark skin Remy Moore. I done had too many. See me leaning on the wall. Got my phone in my hand, like I'm waiting on a call. No complaints, none at all. Boy, you can't win them all. Why they always tryna brawl? These haters wanna see you fall. Tryna win a Grammy, hope you understand me, take care of my family, do this for my granny, couldn't ask for nothing more. Getting suited in design of everything, I'm just going to the store. Different things in the hotel room, cause you rent it out the floor.
My man was like, private. Ever since you started rapping, it's like your name be buzzing. I'm like, I lie. Me?
I heard I'm the hot topic. Your niggas is not popping. Now need to stop talking. Your album is not dropping. I'm in the penthouse with your main chick and the draw's dropping.
Still going.
I might link up with a few niggas, but it's not
Still
often.
going.
I heard I'm the hot topic. No, I could not stop it. They online watching my videos. I'm online shopping. I'm living out my dream. Feel like
Wanna
I'm
play some reggae?
When I
I
drop
play
my
some
first
reggae
single,
now.
I had the streets talking. I'm in the G flossing. Can't tell what it's costing. These white girls OT said that the boy's awesome. These labels want sign me. How'd you all find me? When I was looking for some help, these niggas walk by me. I heard I'm the hot topic. That niggas is not popping. They need to stop talking. Your album is not dropping. I'm in the penthouse with your main chick and the draw's dropping. I might link up with a few niggas, but it's not often. Damn, I think they mad cause I'm the hot topic. It's time they get that bag cause I'm the hot topic. Damn, I think they mad cause I'm the hot topic. It's time they get that bag cause I'm the hot topic. I heard I'm the hot topic. No, I cannot stop it. They online watching my videos, I'm online shopping. I'm living out my dream, feel like I'm sleepwalking. When I drop my first single, I had the streets talking. I'm in the G floss.
Yo, what them say? Flawless victory. You know it's Pablo Bentley representing. What we say? The struggle and the pain round here. No people are suffer round here. No money, no love, no care. No people are die round here. Jaja see I know the God. So he not gonna make me fall. Hear my prayer when we call. He make me rise against the odds. Jaja see I know the God. So he not gonna make me fall. Hear my prayer when we call. If we walk against the wall, I know it's far there. I know it's tough out there. The streets are crying, people are dying, government lying, the youth them still trying. Yo, could have been shoot and be lazy up. Ready for your clothes to open up. Get to you them to rise up, we bite the dust. Yo, the pressure on so we mind with us. Yo, the high grade yet we light it up. Yo, keep the fire we say blazing up. But work like slave so we not be tough. To get pay money done but we not give up. Yo, Tata see and know the all. So him not go make we fall. Hear my prayer when we call. He make me rise against the odds. Charge us the and note it all. So him not go make we fall. Hear my prayer when we call. Even when we back against the wall. Look how far we are coming from. But still we can get along. Look how far we are coming from. The system trying to break us, but we gotta stay strong. Cause the roads are rocky and the hills are steep. I'm hunting my goal, I'm trying to achieve my dream. Me not go give up no matter how hard it seems. The limit is the sky if you know what I mean.
Hello, Fallon, how you doing?
So him not go make we fall. Hear my prayer when we call. He make me rise against the odds. Charge us the and know it all. So him not go make we fall.
Right.
Hear my prayer when we call. Even when we walk against the wall.
Talking about Jamaica now. Talking about Jamaica now.
Yard. Yo, the set of man is a one-man grandstand. Lusher Banton. I go out with Sheila Hilton and Elvis D.
We have to break it, we have to take it, we have to lead it, I make we keep it, Jamaica do it now. Support the thing, I make we live it now. We have to break it, we have to take it, we have to lead it, I make we keep it. We are the winning team.
Winner.
No stopping it seems.
Yeah.
We jump and scream, Jamaica do it now. Support the thing, I make we win it now. We have to break it, we have to take it, we have to lead it, I make we keep it, Jamaica do it now. Support the thing, I make we live it now. We have to break it, we have to take it, we have to lead it, I make we keep it. We have to win it. All we have to take it. And if a mountain have to move, we have to move it. And then the thing Jamaican take, we have to hold it. Jamaica do it now. Support the thing, I make we win it now. We have to break it, we have to take it, we have to lead it. I make we keep it. Now. Support the thing, I make we live it now.
You know what? We're gonna close it out with this one now.
We have to take it, we have to lead it, I make we keep it. Jamaica lead them
Like a jet plane.
and the way to reach the star, no man to fail. As a couple burn, you can't boat your sin.
Carry on, carry on.
Don't be surprised when you feel like the 21st century. We take the one, we take the two, but in a man a lady. Every will never be the same, cause we keep family. You know what I'm so good, you get it, so we never. Jamaica do it now. Support the thing, I make we win it now. We have to break it, we have to take it, we have to lead it, I make we keep it. Jamaica do it now. Support the thing, I make we live it now. We have to break it, we have to take it, we have to lead it, I make we keep it.
All right, last song of the afternoon. We've been running for almost 2 hours. This is the one-man grandstand, Lusher Banton. Said the things are going to go on and they're going to go on strong because they have to keep them going in. You understand? So just make sure you know. I appreciate love the time you took to watch the show. Hold up yourself in the highest regard, because you can't expect them to hold you in any higher regard than themselves. Next half of that, I want to tell you no. Say the things are going to go on strong October 2nd. October 2nd, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the next Culture Shock Community Cookout. We are going to be popping off. We got some corn going on. We got some jerky chickens. We're going to have some other foods, you know what I mean, that's going to be there. We're going to have a stir fry, you know what I mean. The vegetables are going to be provided courtesy of Small Scale Farms. I'm picking those up. By the way, get down there and get one of those $45 bags. They're on sale now for $30. And I'm telling you firsthand, those bags are full of about a week or two's worth of vegetables. So, you know what I mean? Get it in while you can. Small Scale Farms. Look it up online, smallscalefarms.ca. We're going in. Track by Lusher Banton. Black Lives Matter. It's a movement, not a moment. We're still here. We're still here in the song because we're still on with the things. You understand? But they're under too much complication. And we have to rise up and overcome that and build up our next nation. You understand? Things have to go on proper. I know you heard me talk the whole way like this, but now me I chat so cause I said it things flex. You understand? You have to overstand when we understand. Oh God, George. Hey. One more time. The video for this is coming out soon. Hey. Hey. Because everybody needs to say those words from time to time, but not everybody understands that the power of. Not everybody understands the power of humility, humbling yourself and understanding. Say it's not always just about you; it's about getting the things done. Yeah. Right. So, for the record, Culture Shock issue 12, that's available. Volume 2, issue 1 is about to be printed. We got a whole bunch of people saying Caribbean Golf Social. I got to shout out Bad Breed Band for coming through and, you know, living it up with us. It's the Terrell Effect, episode 251. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the longest running episodic podcast in the region. Check us out online at sharetheshock.ca. Click on the podcast link and get in with it. That being said, for the rest of those who took the time to be with me in thought and mind, I appreciate love your energy, and this is where I say bye-bye. Bless up.